Adrienne, and welcome back to a new edition of Dessert Devotion. We are continuing our devotional series, Piece of Cake, where we are exploring ways that peace can be a part of our everyday life. Today's featured cake is an easy vanilla cream cake. I'm going to start with a package of 8-ounce cream cheese and a stick of butter, both at room temperature. As you can see, my butter is a bit melted because I forgot to set it out. So I used my patented technique of cutting it into tablespoons and heating it on a ceramic plate for about 25 to 30 seconds, and then I'm ready to roll. Next, I'm going to add a package of cake mix. I'm just using the white mix because I just like the color better than the yellow butter cake mix, but it's up to you. Now I'm going to add 4 beaten eggs. Then half a cup of milk. I prefer whole milk. Then half a cup of sugar. You would think you wouldn't need to add sugar to cake mix, but it really makes a difference. So remember, as I finish putting this together, I don't want to overmix it, and we are not using the ingredients on the back of the cake mix. Now for our flavorings. I'm going to add a half teaspoon of cream bouquet flavoring. This is one you can really only find online, but it makes your cake taste exactly like a bakery cake. In fact, when you open the top, it really smells just like a bakery cake. I'm also adding a teaspoon of vanilla. So if you can't get a hold of the cream bouquet, just add another half teaspoon or teaspoon of vanilla extract, and that'll be fine. Now I'm going to absolutely drench my Bundt pan with Baker's Joy. I'm going to give it a nice extra coating because, as you can see, I love the design of this Bundt pan and I definitely don't want it to stick. I'm excited to use it. This is a smaller one and it only holds about 10 cups. Now I'm going to carefully place my batter in my Bundt pan. When you're following these Bundt cake recipes, the pans can kind of vary in size, even based on what it says on the label. So my rule of thumb is just always fill your Bundt cake to about 2/3 and stop right there. And that way you can make sure it doesn't overflow. Now I'm ready to bake my cake on 325 for about 40 to 42 minutes. Now that our cake is in the oven, let's settle in for a time of devotion. As we consider this idea of baking in peace into our life every day, one of the things that we have to be prepared to do is to make peace. I want to start out by reading from the Gospel of Matthew. It's a part of the famous Beatitudes sermon, right? It's in the 5th chapter, and this is in the 9th verse where it reads, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." If we want peace to be a part of our life every day, then at some point, in some areas of our lives, in some spaces of our lives, in some circles of people in our lives, where peace is scarce, we're going to have to bake up some peace, y'all. We're going to have to whip up that peace. We're going to have to make the peace ourselves and bring it to the party. We have to make up in our minds that sometimes where there is no peace to be found, we can't wait for the situation to get peaceful. We are the ones that can be proactive as believers to be that light of Christ and bring peace into that situation. So if you've got to whip up that peace in your kitchen, do it. If you've got to make that peace at work, do it. If you have to make that peace in your class with your classmates, you do that. Make up in your mind that you are the one that is the peacemaker. If anyone's going to bring peace, a peaceful solution to the situation, if anyone's going to bring a peaceful attitude to the situation, if anyone's going to bring a peaceful voice of reason to the situation, it's going to be you. You're not the one that's going to stir it up. You are the one that's going to be known as having the peaceful spirit to make that peace and bring it to the situation. Sometimes you got to pack it up, right? And bring it with you. After all, we remember in Romans, in the 12th chapter, in the 20th verse, Paul encourages us, if it is possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. Do you sometimes feel like some people wake up in the morning and they are just waiting to stir something up? They are just waiting to start that conflict. They can't wait to drop that news or to let everyone know what happened, or to drop that tea to stir up conflict. Do you feel like some people are just not happy unless people are at each other's throats, or maybe they just like to see people compete or argue or debate? But instead, you are the peacemaker, and as far as it depends on you, you are going to live peaceably with others. You are going to be the one that brings peace to that situation. Just as much as it seems that some people plan to stir things up, they plan and wait for the opportunity, or they wait for the person to engage and to get into a conflict with, you are going to be the person that plans to engage people with peace. You plan for the conversation to go peacefully. You plan to be the one with the peaceful mind and the peaceful heart. This is something that you are going to have within you, and ensures that you are baking peace right into every single day, because you have a plan before you get started to bring peace with you. In Proverbs, in the 12th verse, in the 12th chapter, it says, and I love the way the Message translation does this. It says, evil scheming distorts the schemer. Peace planning brings joy to the planner. When we are peace planners, right? When we are peacemakers, when we make up in our minds before we leave out every morning, right? Maybe even before we get out of bed, that we are planning on peace, then we know that we're going to have a space of peace in our day, because guess what? We are bringing it with us. So don't forget, it is within your power to bake peace into every single day. Be a peacemaker. Be a peace planner. Amen. Our cake is out of the oven and it smells so good. I don't think it really needs icing. Just for decoration, I'm going to drop a little powdered sugar on it before I slice it. I pray that this easy bundt cake bakes peace right into your home. Thanks for joining me for a new dessert devotion. Be sure to check out my other dessert recipes at dessertdevotion.com.